Hey, what's up, guys? So, I got a heck of a video for you guys today. I got a little ballsy. And by ballsy, well, this is, this is October, guys, and October is what I call Riptober, or my way of giving back to you guys. So, of course, I thought I'd see how many rallies does it take till my rally trap finally gives up. That is what we're going to try and aim and achieve for today. Now, I'm not going to spoil anything, but I will tell you that I've got Mythic champion players for you today. I'm in the kingdom of where SSQ, IGB, and a lot of other very big name guilds are all in one place. We are in the one place that, frankly, if you get caught without a shield, you're probably dead. I will say that without a doubt in my mind, okay, it wasn't really until I took the amount of rallies that I did that I realized what I got myself in for. Let's just say that it may take a long time until I recover. That said, it was an enjoyable experience. I would say that I will gladly do this again for you guys. And frankly, I think I could have just uploaded one or two. I could be that guy that shows look at me. I took 2 rallies and I won. Yeah, yippee. But I'm more of the, how do you say, the guy that in the room that's like, I am an idiot. What does that look like? And how do I follow you? I'm the person that kind of gives you guys the benefit of the doubt. What does it look like? What's possible? What can I do when I'm just stretched to the minimum? And that is my goal with this video today. So we're gonna go straight for it. So obviously you got SQ1 and IGB partner, and the thing I'm looking for here is I'm watching lines. More importantly, I'm looking for what would indicate as, I'm sending an inf, all right, so I'm ultimately expecting people to be sending cavalry. So I'm expecting fast marches. Now, they're both testing me. They're both scouting me. Now, I don't know why it is, but at the time, I wasn't really fully aware why it is that one guy was sending slow marches and the other guy was sending fast marches. And that's because they were prepared. These guys are communicating. They're going, well, I don't know. I think one guy's probably sitting there going, I'm gonna take a 50-50 bet that this guy's gonna sit Nymph Phalanx, and other guy's like, I'm gonna take a bet and say that he's not. So we're gonna do opposites. Now, naturally, at the time, if I'd known that, I would have probably thought this out a little better. But you can't really time your rally swaps nor your switches, So you're really kind of forced in a position where you have to pick and choose. Naturally. If I had been watching the timers on these rallies, I think I would have done this a little differently. But, this is one of those learning curves that comes with being a rally trap. Unfortunately, I've been doing these during lunch when I have literally no time, and I'm just left going, well, I guess this is either going to work out or this is going to go horribly, horribly bad. So we're just going to go with it, we're just going to roll with it, because ultimately the way I sit on this is that, it's like, I don't know. I mean, I'll either cap them or I won't cap them. If I will burn, I burn. But, I'm not really totally, how do you say? T2 are kind of this commodity that a lot of people hold on to dearly. I am the type of person that, it's like I can lose a shitload of tier 2 and I won't shed a tear. It's when I start losing T4 that I suddenly go, oh man, now I've really pushed it, and I feel it, and you will see what might be the worst rally trapping video. Well, it may not be the worst, actually, if you count every time someone's been zeroed. But honestly, this is the most, like, how do you say? I'm probably pushing what I don't know, man. And I'm not gonna gloat. Let me put it that way. I'm not gloating about my rally trap. I'm not gonna go around and be like, yeah, this is how you trap. This is how you do it. Here's what I can tell you. Okay. What I can tell you is my gear. I'm like 550% roughly into inf range and cav, roughly, more or less. I'm not, by any stretch of the imagination, max tier. I'm not pushing the highest possible stats that I could achieve, nor am I even giving myself a whole lot of ample room for what I would describe as I don't give myself any opportunity to improve here, because obviously one of the problems that I've found myself in more often than not is, I go into this and I'm really just like, hey, I'm going to go pick on this guild today. Next week it's going to be, well, I'm going to go pick on that guild. And I'm ultimately just, throwing a spin on it. It's like, it's not really like I'm going around thinking, yeah, I'm going to totally like rip this guild. It's like, honest to God, it's a 50-50 bet between me and them every time I do it. I'm honestly gambling on this, thinking that, on the off chance I get a rally. And the way I play it out, right, is it's really straightforward. You pop a 24-hour shield when you migrate in, you gather, then you do absolutely piss all for like good 10 hours, right? And then come lunch, you pop your shield with an 8-hour rally, and you're sitting in bad gear, and you obviously don't show your familiars on the wall, As you can tell, I'm now getting ready to swap those around. Now, this Chief God guy, that guy's the only guy in this entire video that you're going to find out. I really don't know what he was thinking when he was, I don't know. He was the only guy that got really, if anybody got burned, he was the guy who got burned in this video. But I will say that, for those that are trying to follow in my footsteps, do as I say, don't do as I do, right? You'll see why, because I'm one of the few people that will easily get hurt. So you have to watch and read in between the lines when you're watching me, because I'm learning as I'm actively screwing it up and uploading it to YouTube for everyone else's enjoyment. But ultimately, here's what I can tell you. Okay, initially, every rally trap that I've ever encountered, okay, the initial, like, the best time I've ever had a good rally trap, right, is when I've run into a rally lead where it's just one rally lead. Now, it's not every day that I run into a pair, but I'm ballsy enough that, it's like, look, that doesn't bother me. You know what, I'm going to take one rally, lose it, in another rally, I'm going to win it. That's my mentality going into this. But then I'm going to keep taking them. I'm not going to stop with 1 or 2. I'm going to start with 3 and 4 and 5. I don't like to stop, I'm the type of person that likes to just find out how many can we take, because, after all, that is kind of the video, right? So we're going to go ahead and we're going to pretty much push our goddamn limits this time around, and so obviously you can see he's got a walker, he's got a timer, He's trying to time this rally, and I'm almost scared to think he's going to try and do a triple on me. And I'm like, well, shit. I mean, I've already been gloating, going back and forth, and I'm like, well, if he's seen my scout and he saw my game, he probably knows I'm online at this point. I'm like, you know what, screw it. I'm just going to go ahead and swap it. There, and the rally starts walking. And at this point, I should have just checked, and I was like, oh, mother. And then I was like, oh, whoa. And I'm like, okay, whoops. I'm like, I really, really didn't think that through. And, I've tried to heal it. I'm like, well, yeah, that was an inopportune time to do that, but oh well. But as you can see, I lost like 7 mil that first hit. That second hit, it wasn't so bad. I actually kind of walked off with that one all right. But I'm assuming I took that first one and out of gear. The second one, I might have accidentally taken out of gear again. Which, I mean, it had insult to injury. Not only did I do it once, but I did it twice. But, I mean, it is kind of what it is, But looking at it, you can kind of see why, at this point, I'm like, well, oh well, it's already happened. There went 70 million, mate. Oh well. But of course, we got this other guy. He hasn't flinched. They see my gear. They're popping rallies on me. I'm like, well, okay. Might as well take a look at damage. And see, and one rally, Infomarch he sent me, cleared me out of all my range in one rally. That second rally wasn't so good, because obviously he ran into my range, so then he was just hitting my other buffers, which, I mean, luckily for me, my wall is definitely knocked down at this point, so I'm like, well, okay. But that kind of takes the card off the table. It's like if I sit in range phalanx, I know I'm going to lose T4, so I can't do that. And I'm like, well, we got more rallies. Might as well keep on going, because at this point, like I said, my goal here is to take as many as I possibly can, and I'm looking at my loss count and I'm already going, oh shit, man, why did I do this? Why do I do this stuff for you guys? Why? Because anybody's bank account, anybody that has done this is going to tell you the same thing. This is stupid. There's no rhyme or reason to it. I'm just prepared to look in the comment section, and there's probably somebody it's not even going to listen to the audio of this video, and they're just going to be like, this guy sucks. This guy's dumb. And I'm going to go, okay, all right, good to know. Glad you came by to watch me. Because at the end of the day, I really don't care. Whether I improve or disapprove of whether or not anybody watches this video, at the end of the day, guys, I'm really only striving for one thing here, which is, how many rallies can I eat? That's all I'm aiming for here. Okay, and now everybody knows that I'm online. Now the cards, the tables have turned. Now it's a gamble of who can take the most rallies. Who's it gonna be? Is anyone gonna chicken out? Is everybody gonna play ball? Let's go. So at this point, I don't know, man. I mean, obviously my guild knows what's up. Victim's very, he's aware. He knows what's going on. He knows all too well what I've decided to do. At this point, any sane person probably should have just, if I had just lost my whole line, I should have, if I was anyone else, I should have just shielded and called it a day. But I was like, nah. Where's the fun in that? I might as well just take war, because I'm the way I see it, guys. Ultimately, you guys have seen a lot of my whiteout survival videos. I'm playing that game quite a bit here recently. I'm not terribly torn if I lose my rally trap for a little while, because I've got my main account still, so I can do rallies and shit like that off of that. But ultimately, it's like my rally trap, as you might imagine, has gotten abused, and I treat it like a redheaded stepchild. It doesn't take a lot for me to kind of just sit back, look at it, and go, all right, that's fine. Let's just go. Let's do it. Let's just see what we can get away with. All right, now here you got Chief God, and he's getting all prepared and everything, and I honestly don't know what to expect from this guy. It's like, at this point, I'm already, I'm trying to, like, decipher if that's going to be Inf, Ranger, Cav, because I have not paid any goddamn attention. I'm like, oh, well, there goes the collision, I hope to God I'm in the right phalanx. I got lucky. I was like, oh, whew, I guessed right. It was infantry. Because I think he was kind of counting on me to go range, I guess. But I was like, whoo, I got that one. I got that. I got him. I got him. And at this point, I could have just, I was like, ooh, man, I could just take off and leave. I got his lead, man. I could just pop and go. Right? But yeah, that's not the point of the video. The point of the video is we're going to just keep on going, see how many can we take until I finally tap out. Or rather, until I finally hit something that makes make me groan a little bit, because that's where I'm at. Which, if you guys have listened to me this far, you know all too well what would cause me to groan, and when we finally get there, you'll know why that we ended where we did. But what I can tell you is with some certainty is that rally trapping this way is just beyond bonkers, but it's fun in my opinion. I love taking quads. And I love taking doubles and triples and shit like that. It's just a blast. The only problem I've ever had with the rallies nowadays, it's just the upper threshold for being able to trap these guys is really difficult. Like, you cannot get one error in like I just did. If you make even one mistake, you don't get the right, if you don't judge what march is coming at you and you are in the wrong phalanx, even once, you are done for. That is the death sentence of that entire scenario. Now, as you can tell, they've already canceled a couple. I'm like, great. Well, I've got the one, and obviously at this point I've got the two walking, or soon to be walking. So I've already eliminated one of my evidential threats, so it's like, okay, well, oh well. But the other guys, they want their piece of the pie, they haven't given up yet. So, obviously, I'm like, well, if you're willing to go to bat, I'll play ball, hey, let's go. So here we go, and I mean, I'm not totally torn here, At the end of the day, I've already lost my T2, there's not really anything I can do about it. Of course, I'm looking at my familiar and I'm going, yeah, I probably ought to swap that around, but I don't know. I figure, well, I might as well just poke and see what it is, and I'm like, ooh, okay. I'll go infantry for that, because I think I can eat it. I'm thinking infantry might work. Maybe. Maybe not. Of course, I come by, I look at that rally. Like, yeah, okay, that wasn't so bad. And then, of course, here comes the other rally, 20 seconds on the clock. And this is the point at which I'm like, well, Yeah, I mean, I guess I might as well go ahead and swap again. You can't really go wrong once you've made this mistake. Once you commit, you can't not commit to the next rally. You might as well keep going. And if Jeep God's gonna hit me, oh hell, why not? I'm gonna keep on going. You can't go wrong with being this dumb, right? At this point, I'm like, I'm going CAFL. Everybody's gonna look at me and go, "What are you doing? What are you thinking?" I'm like, I'm betting this guy goes imp. I got a gut feeling about this. This guy's gonna go infantry. I just got a gut feeling. If it ain't infantry, it's mixed. Either way, it's infantry. Like my gut tells me that is exactly what this guy's gonna do. But I don't know that with any amount of certainty, and I'm already prepared for another double because it seems like that's been their strategy here. It's basically always hit them, double tap them, and then you'll always win at least one of them. And that I think it's a pretty valid strategy actually for hitting rally traps. Is you don't want to hit them once or twice, double tap them, and therefore you always win. It's like, okay, all right, I approve. But that's assuming I'm willing to take double taps, and I'm willing to do it because, hey, that's the video. We're going to see how many rallies can we take before we finally proc, but hey, that's the benefit of rally trapping these days. But I'm at 21 million troops, guys, and I'm still not, I'm not fretting over it. Obviously, I saw a cav there. I'm like, well, okay, cav on cav, I guess. That's not like the worst thing in the world. A little bit of T4 wounds there, but like, he surely didn't dive too far into it, did he? And I was like, yeah, actually, it didn't work as bad as I thought. It actually worked out. And he didn't swap gear, which is interesting. So, obviously, there I was like, well, all right, that didn't actually work as bad as I thought it was going to. Like, I was really expecting that to work a lot worse than it did. So, of course, now we got the other two rallies. And at this point, with the last two rallies, I'm really pushing wing luck gear. It's like, once you've gotten this far in the game, you've taken so many damn rallies that you're like, I really probably ought to stop, but of course, that is not the point of this video. We're gonna keep going until I finally decide to tap out, and at this point, we're already quite a few rallies in, and I'm like, well, I don't know. GG, guys. Like, I'm actually considering it at this point. I'm like, yeah, I've really kind of pushed my luck here. That guy's like, oh, when trapping goes wrong, it's like, well, yeah. I mean, I'm contemplating it. Don't get me wrong. I'm like, well, I don't know. If I fooled him once, could I fool him twice? I don't know. Now, obviously, my Divine Providence is at 8 mil. I went from being 770 mil to 664 mil. So I've already lost 100 million troop might. Okay. And I'm, obviously I got Jonathan giving me, I don't know what the heck that says, but something along the BOA defense, whatever that means. But I'm assuming it's good. But looking at all these rallies hit, it's like, okay, so far I've actually not been doing so bad. Yeah, they're bad, but it's mostly T4, T2. We're not trading. I'm not trading anything that I'm really willing. I don't know, guys. At this point, I made my mistakes, and I'm at 19 mil. I'm gonna go ahead, play some music from this point forward, but on my last regards, the last report's probably the worst one. I don't know. I made some mistakes, and thank you guys for watching so far. I really hope you enjoyed the video so far. And my final remarks on this is that I hope all of you guys are having a wonderful October, and needless to say, I'm going to be rebuilding my rally trap. So, see you guys.
I give in to the lesser fight. My body aches to be satisfied. My weakness comes and goes.